Hey everyone, welcome to this new tutorial. It's on a pretty cool effect in an icosphere. Well, you can pretty much do it with anything, but I'm just doing it with an icosphere because it's really cool. Anyways, so you get an icosphere, set the subdivisions up to 3 or 4. I chose 4 because I want some extra detail. Next, you want to go into the modifiers and add a wireframe modifier. Once you have that wireframe modifier, you want to add a decimate modifier. So you have both modifiers. Move the decimate modifier up. Turn down the ratio so you can see how it morphs and minimizes the amount of faces on the icosphere randomly. Next, once you're happy with that, you can turn off the wireframe and just double check and adjust the ratio a little bit more if you like. Once you're happy with that, you can turn the wireframe back on and add a subsurf modifier. It might take a little bit to load. Once it loads up, subsurf modifier is on. Change the subdivisions to 3 on both render and viewport, and then set the object shading to smooth. Okay, so once you're happy with that, you can go ahead and make a scene out of it. So first of all, you want to just move it up a little bit, but not too much. So I moved mine up around about like 3/4 above the x-axis line, and yeah, I just experimented a little bit, but in the end I moved it up 3/4 above the x-axis line, and I added in a plane, and I just scaled that up real quick. Next, I grabbed my lamp, and I just moved that down and just tried to find a good spot for it. I'm literally making this up as I go, but I think I actually got something. I went into rendered view, and I came up with this cool effect. So I was just moving it around, and then I put it inside the icosphere, and it actually brought a really good effect, so I decided to move it all the way in. And it looks like this, which is pretty nice. Next, I'm happy with that, so I'm just going to frame my camera, pressing 7 and then pressing Ctrl-Alt-0 to position the camera there, and just moving the camera around and rotating it so that the axes are vertical and horizontal in the camera. Quick tip is to go in Camera, Viewport Display, and Composition Guides, and then you can just click Center, and then that is another guide to assist you with positioning and rotating your camera so that you can use the axis lines as the centers. Next up, you want to just fine-tune the placement of your lamp if you haven't already, and you just want to go into the render settings and just play around with those. I've just ticked everything, and I was just trying to see what looks best. I turned off bloom because I think it looks a little bit too harsh, so I just went with ambient occlusion and screen space perfection. Next up, I just decided to add a color to my plane at the bottom, so I just made it glossy, and I turned the roughness up a little bit to halfway, which is by default, and I just changed the color around a little bit. I just played around with that, and I also played around with the lamp color, and I came up with this. And I just tinkered around a little bit, and I came up with this, and even this. Okay guys, that's pretty much the tutorial. It's pretty easy and quick. Alright, see you in the next one. Holy shit, that took so long. I am so sorry.